Hello, my name is Judy West and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to make these two little fan cards. They're slightly different. One has a black front, one has a white front. This fan has a little white center. This fan is all one colour. So we made that fan slightly different to that one, and just keep following this and you'll find out how we do that. Now today we've got quite an easy little card, and if you go to Card Making with Judy West, my Facebook group, you'll be able to download this set of instructions for free. But we're going to make a little fan. Now I have your standard A5 piece of cardboard. The first thing you do is fold that in half. I get my bone scorer out, and you just score it to get a nice sharp fold. Then the next thing you need to do is cut a piece of cardboard in black, so there's an even border all the way around. So once you've folded your A5 card in half, it is now 10.5 by 14.9. So we're going to cut it down to 10, the black, to 10 by 14.4. Make sure that looks good. There we are, 10 by 14.4, and we're going to cut a white one which will be 9.5 by 13.9. Okay, so now we've got 9.5 by 13.9 for the white one. Now I have a piece of pattern paper, and you probably need quite thin pattern paper for this because we have to do some folding and some scoring, and so we want it quite thin. And I also have a little tassel that's going to hang off the bottom of the fan when I've done it. You take your 12 by 12 sheet of paper and you fold it in half with the pattern to the inside, and then you fold back about maybe half a centimetre from the edge and score that, and do exactly the same on the other side. Fold that back about half a centimetre from the edge, or match it with the fold line on this side. Now once we've done that, we're going to open that out so you can see that white strip down there, and then we're going to score this. Now the reason you could do this with a single piece of paper instead of all this folding, but what I wanted to do is on my fan I wanted a little white section as different from the pattern section in the center of the fan. So there's white and then pattern. So this is why I've done it this way. but it makes the paper much thicker, so you need to score your paper before you start folding so you get nice even score lines. And you score every 5 centimeters. And the thing I like to score best with is a little round tool like that. It's got a rounded end and not a sharp end. Now on my Crafter's Companion, the score marks are exactly a 1/2 centimetre apart. So I can just now put this on here and score along here every 1/2 centimetre. Now if you haven't got a scoring board, then mark every 1/2 centimetre and then score. If you want your fan a bit bigger than that, you could score every centimetre. Okay, so now that we've scored it, we've got some nice deep grooves in there. We start folding it first one way and then the other, back and forth. I'm just going back, and I'm not trying to get them all, the concertina, together yet. First I'm just going back and forth and trying to get a decent fold on each of those lines. Once you've got all your fold lines going in the right direction, then you can start concertinaing this together quite easily. Now you can see that little white section in the middle. And what I might do is I'll just push all that together and try and push it down with the bone scorer on either side, just to get those folds to fold harder and sharper. And then I'll do the same on the other side. Now that I've done that, all you need to do is bend it in the middle, and you join that in the middle there, and you have your fan. Okay, but the first thing you're going to do is, before you join that in the middle there, you're going to take your little tassel, and this little tassel actually has some wire on it, so I'm going to use that wire to twist around the center of the fan. If you don't have wire, you might have a couple of large jump rings, or a jump ring or something like that from your jewelry making, and you could put that around it. Or you could tie a little piece of cord around it. It's really up to you. I'm tying this wire around it and just twisting it in the middle to make sure that it holds, and have them go straight up, because then we're going to glue all this together like that in the middle, and there you have your fan with the little white section in the middle, and that's why I did that. Now that mightn't be important to you, so you could just do it in all one color if you wanted. You wouldn't have to fold those bits back. So now what I'm going to do is get some really strong tape And I like using this this tape here with the red label on the inside because I find it's really strong. And I put it up the middle of my fan. If you want to make it extra strong, you might want to add some glue in there as well. It's up to you. And I'm going to just make sure that that's really stuck down firmly on there first. And then I'll just pull that up to the middle and stick those two together. And there we have our fan. Now, what we're going to do is glue these together. Now I glue the white one on top. And then we glue our fan on. Now I like putting my fan on not straight but at a slight little angle. And I'll just make sure I have a lot of glue on the raised sections because they're the bits that are going to touch the cardboard. On the folds. And there we are, just stick it on. Now because these are quick cards, I'm just going to use a sticker for the writing. And I'm just going to put happy birthday at the bottom. And there's some stars on this, so I'm going to put a couple of those stars around too, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so there's a very quick little card, not hard to do, and you can choose what you put on the inside. But you know, if you've got some little tassels and you don't know what to do with them, there's a very easy card to make. Now if you didn't want that thickness to deal with and you didn't want that white in the center, then you could cut your piece of paper 12 by 7 and just score it again every half centimetre. this time, because it's a single thickness, I'll just start concertinaing it straight away because it's easier to do that way. And there we are. We can score it a bit more and make sure. Now I would like mine without that bit coming straight up there, so I might cut that a little bit off just so it's not sticking up in the air. Okay, so that both my folds go down at either end. Then I would get my little white tassel and hook it off the paper, and I've got to fold this in half first. I've got to find halfway. Is about there, approximately there is halfway. That's it. And then we hook that into the tassel and hook it around the paper. These ends together and fold it down from the top if we can. And there's our little fan. Again, these are flipping up a bit. Might need to either cut them off or wet them, get them to sit down. Now this time, because the fan is white and because this tassel is white, I actually want a black background. So I've got 2 pieces of black paper and 1 piece of white paper, as well as the card. So fold our card in half. The last black piece is going to be 9 by 13.4. So now we just stick these on. Always make sure they fit first. That one's right. That one's right. And that one's right. Okay, let's go. So on this one we've got 3 layers instead of 2, so that we end up with a black front and for a white tassel. And because it's a black front, I can't then put the black writing on. I'm going to put the silver writing on instead, to match the little silver bits on there. So we'll stick this down now. Now, and when you put it on, it starts sort of going down into the groove, so turn it over and hold it up a bit for a couple of minutes just to let it run back down again. And then you can stick it on your card are. And we'll put our writing on, this time in silver. Now the reason I put on crooked is it's much easier to put on crooked than it is to put it on straight. So why do it hard when you could do it easy? There we are. Happy birthday. And we might put a couple little silver stars around this too. There we are. So now we have the two little cards, one with a white front and a black tassel, the other with a black front and a white tassel. This one has a little white center that stands out from the rest of the fan. This one is all one color. So you have two different ways to make that same card, and you could make it a number of different ways and they could all look different. Just change whatever writing you put on it for starters, and the way you put the writing on. Okay, I hope that was useful. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video today, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell to be notified of my new videos.